friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. We are almost to the weekend. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. I'm glad that you are here. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. If you happen to be looking for easy to use, easy to clean, DIY ideas for home decor and gifts, you are in the right place. Once you hop on the live or the replay, say hi in the comments, put hashtag replay if you're watching later, and tell me where you're watching from. I happen to be in central Kansas this evening. It was a hot one today. The heat index was almost 110, so not very pleasant. So, along with saying hi, if you wouldn't mind spreading the chalk love around Facebook if you like this project and think others should see it. And if you also want to just help out my channel, that would be great. So spread the chalk love around, tag your crafty friends, invite them to watch along with you. And as always, hit that heart button, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that fun behind the scenes social media stuff. So let me go to my comments. I see that Jason's watching from the other side of the door, and he says, boo for the heat. So tell me what the temp is in wherever you are watching. So with that, I also want to let you know, I wondered why my intro was so short. I am live in 3 locations this evening. So if you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your feed, that person may be viewing and commenting from a different platform. Also, if you're watching from my private Facebook group, there is a permission link in the description of the video. If you click that link, that just allows StreamYard permission to tag your profile name and pic to your comment. If you choose not to click that link, that's A-OK. I understand if you want to stay private, but just know that if you do start commenting, your comment will show up as Facebook user, and I won't know who to say hi to. I see that Miss Stacia is on. Welcome. She made the cutest little houses last night on her live. They were super cute. So go check out her channel, Vibrant Canvas Creations, I believe is the name of that. And also, looking at the ticker down here, I didn't realize that there was a new promotion until I went onto the website tonight. So it looks like, I'm just reading my screen, customers who spend $50 US or 65 Canadian now through July 31st earn 20% off bounce back code. And I will tell you more information about that when I see it, when I get more information. But I just wanted to let you know about that. So with that, I'm going to flip the camera. I'm also going to take... Well, I might take the ticker off here in about 10 minutes. We'll see if it gets in my way. So I am using the last chance transfer. This one is My Roost, My Rules. I've been wanting to use it for a while. I just haven't, mainly because I hadn't prepared my surface for it. But I think it's going to be perfect for a wooden garden flag. If you have chickens, this would be a super cute wooden garden flag to put out by your chicken coop. If not, then you can put it out in your front porch. I need to put something white here to see if that counteracts the yellow. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So I have prepared my 12 by 18 board, and this is one of those glued edge boards, and so there's just pieces of wood that are literally glued together. So if this would happen to fly off in the wind, it could break, and it still might break, but I have braced it with just a piece of I think these are little pieces of aspen that I can get at Menards in a big long strip. So I just cut them down, and then I use them as braces for the backs of the flags. You can also make this a 2-sided flag if you want to get more bang for your buck. Put a general one on the front side and maybe a holiday one on the back. That's what I just did. So I should have brought it down, but that's okay. I posted it on my page maybe last week. I did kind of a patriotic scheme on an evergreen flag. So I painted these blue, put God Bless America in red, and then I added white stars. So it looked super cute. So you can get it two-sided. So I want to, I'm going to kind of distress the front portion of this with a little bit of white paint. Sorry, I meant to have this done ahead of time, but I didn't. So I'm just going to put some white paint on here. I just have some Waverly white paint. And I'm going to, water it down if I can find some. I'm just going to water it down a little bit because it's just super thick. Not a whole lot. We are going to end up dry brushing most of this anyway, but I just wanted it a little thinner so it'll go a little farther. So I'm going to bring in my little shop towels here. And I just have literally a cheap chippy brush. I can't find myself for some reason. So I'm just going to dip it in and get a little bit off. And then heavy in some spots, light in other spots. Just not trying to be perfect at all. Some more paint down here. Just kind of wherever I think there should be paint. You can always take some off if you don't like it. You can always put more on. I try to go off. I'm not doing a very good job because I'm getting it on my ends, but if you're not wanting to get it on your ends, flick this way off of the edge, because if you come at it from this direction, you're going to get a bunch of over painting on your edges. Get a little bit more paint out. So how's everyone's week been so far? Get a little bit more paint. Can't believe we're almost to the middle of the month already. Add a little bit over here. Oof, my lagging anybody else? Hey, Margie. Jason says, good week, but ready for the weekend. I'm ready for the weekend. I'm always ready for the weekend. So I'm just making this look really rustic, not wanting perfection at all. Oops. darken up my edges a bit. See what that looks like. How about that? And then I'll do the edges at hello, Miss Cheryl. I'll do the edges at a later date. Okay, now I'm gonna make sure I'm getting ready to turn off the ticker, but make sure you know that. Let's read it one more time before I turn it off. So there's a new promotion that launched yesterday. And it's any customer who spends $50 US or $65 Canadian, you can earn a 20% off bounce back code. And I believe, I'm not for certain if the code can be used this month or if it can be used next month, but I will get you more details on that. I just happened to read that on the website when I was on earlier. Oops. Stacia said Facebook in general has been bad tonight. Was watching another live and they went down 3 times. Uh-oh. That's the cool thing about StreamYard is that if you lose your internet connection or like if anything happens, because it's housed, everything's housed online, they will keep your live stream open. So it kind of looks like you don't get dropped or anything. So you can just kind of hop right back on without having to restart. So that's one of the reasons why I use StreamYard, is because it keeps me from having to start over most of the time. But that's good to know. Thanks for that tip. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this. I'm actually going to use my hair dryer since it's a larger surface. Has anyone shopped the new catalog yet? It launched on Tuesday. There's still a little bit of... Stacia says she's waiting to get paid and then she'll get an order in. I hear you. So if you're wanting the Highland Cow transfer that just launched on Tuesday, you probably ought to get it because sooner rather than later, because it's probably going to sell out. I'm assuming they'll restock it, but it was the #1 seller so far. So this is a little, it's not very smooth. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit of sanding just to get my surface a little bit more smooth. So I'm sorry for any of the noise. So I'm just trying to sand it down so that it's a little more smooth. I do lose a little bit of my distress paint, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna, I'm pulling it. I'm just wiping all the dust off. Ouch. Poking myself with my fingers. Okay. feels a lot more smooth. So the next thing, ouch, we want to do is give it a little bit of a wax. So I have my surface wax here. And then I'm just going to heat it up a little bit with my quick dry tool, just so that it spreads a little easier. My wax is kind of hard. So I'm just going to use my wax applicator. And because my rooster is mainly in the middle, and then my words are at the top and the bottom, that's where I'm going to focus. I'll still probably get a little bit of bleeding because it's still, there's some ridges. But that's okay. Let's get that buffed in. I'm going to turn my board around. Hello, Miss Amanda. I'm probably going to be keeping you up late. How are you doing this evening? There's a little, put a little more in the middle. See if I can smooth it out. This gives you an arm workout. Okay. So I'm going to be using figure out, maybe I can miss. I can miss some of that. Probably not. Okay, so again, this is the transfer we're using. So I'll put that there to fool. Yep. Nope. So we're going to be, I'm going to be using Saucy, but you can use either in its place, either candy apple red, cherry, or yeah, those are the two colors. If you have cherry or candy apple red, I'm also going to use camel. I'm also going to use, I have academia, but you could use Tide. They're almost the same color. I have rust, but you could use papaya if you have it. You could also get away with orange peel or the new Hey Pumpkin. And then I'm going to use Midnight, but you could use probably Lakeshore in its place. This one was one of the, actually, these three were past colors of the month, so they're not available, but I've given you the comparable color. So I'm just going to open these. Figure out what color. So I'm going to do the words in Midnight, and then this will be kind of the saucy color. This will be probably Rust, and then we'll do Academia, and then his tail feathers and his feet and his beak will be Camel. I made a mess with the paint and the probably shouldn't get all these out at once, but I'm going to. Okay, so let's, should have waited. Let's get out. I'm going to use two fuzzing cloths. tonight because this is so big. Maybe. So this is, if you're new here, this is a silkscreen reusable transfer. It is sticky back. It is reusable about 8 to 12 times. So because of that, you need to make sure that you mark the back side so that when you're done cleaning the transfer and you're ready to put it back on the backer sheet, you know that this side is the back and this side is the front. So, and on these larger ones like C's, D's, and E's, I like to pull the backer sheet off of the transfer. You have a less likelihood of it folding up on itself. Because it's sticky, because it's so sticky and I'm using a wood surface, I want to fuss the backside a little bit. So all I'm doing is just taking a terry cloth towel and I'm knocking back that adhesive with some of the lint that is on my towel. I just don't want the transfer to be so sticky that it pulls up any of my paint or my wood fibers. I also don't want it to stick so hard that it pulls or distorts the transfer because then it won't work as well. It's still pretty sticky. So this again is a C-size transfer. So it is 12 by 18, so it's pretty much the size of this board, which makes it fairly easy, well, mostly easy to line up. Looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to burnish it down. I see some stuff in my transfer. I'm just going to burnish around where all of the silk screen is. Oops. Oopsie. Okay. I'm going to leave it this way so that we can use, so that it'll be easier to paste for me. So I don't have to reach so far. So I'm just going to take some of this Midnight on my, this was called the small squeegee. And I'm just going to make sure that I cover all of the silk screen areas. But I'm usually I'm pretty heavy-handed with the squeegee. So because my surface is slightly uneven, I need to keep reminding myself to use a lighter hand so I don't squish the paste underneath the transfer where it may be lumpy and bumpy. So we're also going to do the paste and pull method. So I'm going to do the letters up here, my Roost. Try to get all my squeegee lines out, peel off all that excess. I can put all of that back in a jar. And so I'm going to pull up my transfer. Oh gosh, that's gorgeous. And I'm going to dry it. And you don't have to dry it all the way. You can just gently lay it back down I'm just going to go ahead and dry it because I'll mess it up. And you know your paste is dry because it goes from a shiny finish to a matte finish. In this instance, it's really fun to watch paint dry. Okay, so now let's do, I think I may go ahead and do the bottom part. That way I can seal this paste up when I'm finished. I'm just going to take all of this off of the foil liner. Waste not, want not. This makes me want to have chickens, only slightly. This would be so cute in front of a chicken coop. So if you know anybody that has chickens, tell them to hit me up. I can make them a cute little garden flag for in front of their chicken coop. We have some, they're not neighbors, but they live in our neighborhood across Belmont, and they have chickens, and they have them. They used a trampoline frame and just literally put chicken wire over the top and around the sides, and that's their chicken coop. It's an old trampoline frame. I thought that was pretty ingenious. So I'm just going to take the excess off. And I'm going to pull this up. We can do the chicken. I'm going to close this up. Okay, now let's get our chicken colors. Let's open camel. So again, I have Saucy, Rust, Academia, and Camel, but you could use Candy Apple Red or the new Cherry. You could use Papaya. You could use Tide, and then Camel is a regular color. And I have blue paste everywhere. Let's get get some of that off before it ends up literally everywhere. Luckily, this stuff is super easy to clean. Okay, I think I have a multi-tool and a detail tool. Let's turn our rooster this way. So I'm going to do his, forgot what that's called, this little crown in Saucy. So this multi-tool is kind of like using a pencil or a paintbrush. Gives you a lot of control in those hard to reach places. And if you need something a little smaller, you could use the detail brush, which is in my right hand. So I'm going to use that to get that little piece right there. And because I know I'll need to use it, I'm just going to wash it off right away. Put the excess back in. I think we're done with that color. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up just so that that little area doesn't dry. And then you just want to burnish without having paste on your finger. Darn it. That's why I clean my fingers regularly. Okay, so we'll let that little area dry. Let's move on to, so we'll do rust on these head feathers. So I just have a small squeegee that I've cut in half. Just gives you a different size of squeegee. Don't be afraid to cut and hack on your squeegees. I might just come in with a multi-tool. Sorry, I'm concentrating so I don't overpaste. So I'm just going to come down partially and then we'll go into another color right here. There's the rust. I think I'm done with that color. Okay, so let's pull that part up. That midnight is a gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. Okay. So let's come in with some tie or academia or Tide, whichever color you have. And I may even come back in with some more saucy right here. So we'll do all of this Tide or academia, do some of these in saucy, and then the rest of these will be in camel. I think I'm going to use, let me get the bulk of this down here. And the rest of this, I'll come back in with my detail tool. Just kind of get in here to these little feathers. Smooth all that out. Hopefully that hasn't dried on me. Jason says the colors are beautiful. Thank you. That midnight navy color, oy vey. Love it. So let's burnish his face, his tail feathers, and his legs. Okay, so I'm done with Tide or Academia. Let's get Saucy back out. Saucy. Oh no. Let's get the rest. That's what we were. Okay, I'm just going to turn it around just so I can get to it a little easier.
Dude, I was like,
Oh, yeah, I think that's right. Maybe. Probably should have kept those. I think we'll just do these saucy. It's a really, or a rust. It's a pretty color. Try not to get into those feathers right there.
oh, we didn't do it. You even showed an iPhone.
That is a really pretty color. that over there. Clean off my little mess I made right there. Okay, so let's bring in Camel. And we'll do these feathers and his feet. And then we need to come back in and do his face, which we'll probably still do that in Camel. This is not typically a color I use, but it looks really pretty with the rest of these colors. Oops, I need to pull. I forgot. So I'm going to, after I do this little feather, we'll go ahead and pull. I don't want that rust to dry or the camel. He's a fancy rooster. Amanda says she loves the colors. Thank you. Very jewel toned. I can't take credit for it. I kind of was inspired by somebody else, another designer. That's the cool thing about the designership community is that nobody's afraid to share ideas. You can get a lot of inspiration. I don't always come up with the ideas myself. I rarely do, but I can kind of take inspiration from other designers' projects. Bring in the detail tool. I think this actually might, I always say this, but this would actually make a really good class. Especially since I have so many C transfers that don't get used. One, I don't usually bring those out for classes because they're so big. And I don't have very many surfaces that fit C transfers, but this would be a perfect class for C transfers. And I've got them in for most seasons. And then I've got a lot of evergreen ones. So I may have to think about that. We could do like a quarterly garden flag class where you could so you have to tell me in the comments if you think that would be fun. There he is in all of his colorful glory. So I will, once the live's over, I will take that transfer to my sink and give it a good cleaning with my board eraser. So there, I was going to point out the cool thing about this transfer is you could even get so detailed as to making the shadow portions of the letters a totally different color, which would be really cool. I'm not that patient, so I did not, but it's certainly an idea. So here's the rooster. The tide looks a little more blue on camera, but it's a really pretty green. I'm gonna go get, I forgot to grab, if I can remember where I stashed them, my garden hooks. Let's see. We'll see if we can get those put in. So to keep this from completely flying off of my garden flag hanger, I found these. You can use what are called safety cup hooks. You can get them smaller than this, but I wanted these because they were black. But they have this little clip right here that keeps. So I mean, in the Kansas wind, it could probably like just spin right off of your flagpole. But this kind of your garden flag holder. But these kind of keep them on there. Oops, sorry, that was a little loud. So I was trying to find my pokey tool. I don't know where it's at. I can use that one. And then I'm going to get some glue. So, I don't know if it fell. I'm usually staring right at it, but I don't see it tonight. We'll just use this. It's my silhouette hook, but I think it might work. Figure out what I did with my pokey tool. Okay, so I like to put, we'll just do a couple inches in. Let me have a little, I might have a chalk marker down here or something. I just have a little white chalk marker, so we'll, I'm going to measure in maybe 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to make a little dot, roughly right there. And then again on this other side, so I can kind of see where to poke. So I've made my little dots. You can see one of them right there. So I'm just going to take this little hook and just kind of make like a starter hole. Kind of in the middle. Pretty good. So then I'm also going to see if I can put a little bit of glue on these screw threads. Super glue would probably be better, but this stuff's pretty industrial. And then see if I can get these. Probably should have drilled a hole, but this may work. And if you have a hard time turning them, you can always use like a screwdriver or a pencil to kind of help screw them in. Just wipe off your glue. This is pretty soft wood, so it weren't too hard. Add a little bit more glue. This will hopefully help keep it in. You could also probably drill, if you're worried about these coming out, like these come with little white anchors that you could pound into the wood. These little, like you would use in a wall. Same thing, just gonna, this side wasn't as soft, so this one might be a little more difficult. I may have to drill a hole. can't even get that to turn in. Yep, I'm gonna have to get a drill, but you get the point. So we'll just go with one, and I'll finish the other one on at the end of when I'm done. Another tip is if you, I would spray seal it with 2 to 3 coats of some sort of clear sealer, like Rust-Oleum 2X is a really good sealer. The last time I just hung this literally on my garden flag holder and sprayed it that way. Make sure you get the bottom, get the sides, get the back. But that's an easy way to spray seal your signs. So here it is this way. So you might be able to get different colors. Here's what the tide looks like. There's our little garden flag. My roost, my rules. Super cute. I will probably put this in my booth at Junk in the Trunk. I think it fits there a little better. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe Raised Rustic. Just have to see. Check out all 3 and you will be able to see where I put it. So that's, Jason says he loves it. Thank you. I would keep it, but we don't have any chickens. So, and I think it really needs to be where, like, by somebody's chicken coop. So if you know anybody that has chickens in a chicken coop, tag them in this video and let them know that I can always custom make these. So any colors. So just let them know. So with that, I'm probably going to hop off for the evening. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks so much for letting me come on a little later. And I will hope to see you this weekend with either some pre-recorded content or a live video. I haven't quite decided yet, but we will see how the rest of the week goes. Speaking of the rest of the week, I hope you all have a great rest of your week and a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching.